Today I'm starting my tie-dye project. I've been telling you guys about this for a while and I finally got to get on it. I showed you guys before that I've got the screen. This is a pretty rad screen. The Testimony Skateboard guys did that for us, which is really cool. And you'll see down here I've got a bunch of shirts that I scored from LAT. So if you're not familiar with LAT, they're a really cool brand, and the shirt quality is second to none. And so I ended up getting a whole bunch of these things. I think I got like 50. I bought like 50 shirts. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie-dye these shirts. I'm going to hand tie-dye these shirts. Now, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've been sitting and watching a whole bunch of YouTube videos to try to learn how to do this. I went to Walmart today, which it's bike week, so it's freaking crazy in town. But I went to Walmart and bought a whole bunch of dye, and I got some bleach because I'm going to dye them, and then I'm going to bleach dye them. And then once that's all done, I'm going to screen print them. Now next week, I've got my screen printing stuff coming in. I ordered a screen printing press, and I ordered a dryer. I'm going to do all this stuff in my garage. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of excited about it. I've always loved t-shirts. I've always loved screen printing. So I'm going to try my hand at it and see how it goes. And then I'm going to make the shirts available to you guys, and I have no idea what kind of project I'm going to support with them, but we'll totally find some kind of a missions project to point these things to. So these are some shirts that my son already did. We kind of tested this a while back just to kind of see how it would go, and he did that for us. And these are some shirts. I pulled all these out. I've tried to get sizes from all the different sizes that I have. I've got medium, small, large, extra large. I got a whole bunch. And so these are the ones that we're going to actually try to dye today. Now, like I said earlier, I went to Walmart today to pick up the stuff that I needed to do this job. And here's the stuff I got. So you got to have, well, to do what I'm going to do, I got to have some bleach. So I picked up some bleach. And then there's this stuff called soda ash. I have absolutely no idea what this is, but like a lot of the guys that do like legit tie-dye recommend that you have this stuff. And then I got a whole bunch of different dyes. So I got purple, pink, red, yellow, this cool teal color. That looks pretty awesome. Get some of that going there. And then we got black. Black will pop on these colored shirts. Now here's some rubber bands. You gotta have rubber bands to do this job. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all this stuff and I'll do the tie-dye. I'm gonna show you guys the whole process, show you how I do it, and even if I make mistakes, I'm gonna show that stuff to you too. But a lot of these guys that do the tie-dye recommend that you use this soda ash stuff, whatever the crap it is. So we're gonna do that. You have to soak the shirts first. So we're gonna go get these things in the soak. Alright, so we got our shirts. Oop, I gotta go get the other stuff. I forgot the soda ash stuff. Again, I have no idea what this stuff is, but it says that it's a pre-treat for fabric to promote dye absorption. So that's what we're gonna do, and it tells me to mix a gallon of water with a packet of soda ash until it's dissolved. So I'm gonna run some water here. Now, fortunately, let me make a disclaimer here. So, in my house, fortunately, I have this sink in my laundry room, which is pretty awesome to have. So kids, if you're a kid and you're watching this, your mom's gonna freak out if you start doing this in your bathtub or in your sink or something like that. So make sure you got like a bucket or you know, something else, you know, like a tub or something like that. Not like your bathtub, but like a plastic tub that you can mix this stuff in, because this right here just looks like it's going to dissolve. I don't know what it's going to do, but when you start getting into doing the dye part of this, man, don't do it in your sink and don't do it in your bathtub or whatever. I've got this sink here. It's a utility sink, so I'm going to use this for all my soaking and dyeing and rinsing and all that stuff. Alright, now it's got some gloves in here, so I'm assuming I probably need to wear gloves with this. So I'm going to pull it out and see what's in here. Here's a packet of the stuff. Here's some gloves. That's probably about a gallon. And it didn't say hot water or cold water. I used hot water because it seemed like hot water is probably better. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But I got some better gloves than these plastic crap gloves. Got these nylon gloves. We're gonna use these bad boys. If it's gnarly stuff, you probably don't want to get it on your skin. So since they include gloves, probably wise to go ahead and wear some gloves with this. My hands are wet, which is not awesome. Alright, here's the stuff. It's just a packet of this white powdery stuff. And it says, let your fabric soak for 20 minutes. So I'm going to pour this in here. I guess you got to stir it up some. And it doesn't stink. It doesn't have a smell. I mean, it's not like bleach or anything. So, alright, so it's good and mixed up. I'm going to toss all my shirts in there. Let's see how many I got. 9, 10, 11. There's 11 shirts. I'm going to squish them down in here so they all get soaking wet. Ooh, what the crap? What is that? Oh, it's my package. Oops. Oh, this is weird. Okay, great. Maybe soda ash and colored fabrics are not wise because, well, let me show it to you. So if you see here, unfortunately, it looks like it's starting to make the color run on the blues. See that? That sucks. Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what this ends up doing. Maybe it comes out cool. I don't know. I'm gonna let this soak for 20 minutes. I'm gonna go find a bucket so that when this is done, I can wring them out and throw them in the bucket, and then we'll take them to the table to get ready to tie them up. While we're waiting for this soda ash stuff to cure on the shirts, it's not curing, it's soaking in the shirts, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my dye. Now, based on the colors that I'm seeing from the soda ash soaking in these colored shirts, some of the lighter colored dyes that I got are not gonna work. So what I did is, I think I'm gonna use the red. I'm gonna use this red RIT dye, some purple, pink, and then I've got black. So black is definitely gonna work on all the colors for sure. Now, what I gotta do is, you have to mix this dye with water. So what I did is I got some water bottles, and I drank half the water out of the bottle. I did not pour it out. I drank it, for the record. And I'm going to take this screw and I'm going to make a little hole. See that little hole right there? I'm going to make a hole in these lids, and it's pretty simple, right? You just take the screw. I put it right in the center of the lid, and you just pop it right through. It goes in pretty easy. See that? Super simple. And you just pull it right out. So all you want to do is just make a nice little hole like that, you know, so that you can squeeze the dye out of it. And I need to get one more bottle of water. I mean, the idea is that you just, oh, that freaks me out. That's my timer. So the shirts are ready. So you can see here what's happened. The blue, the soda ash has made the blue coloring run on these shirts, and it's turned my yellow more of a green. We'll have to see what it looks like once we pull it out of the water and wring it out a little bit. And then I found a big bucket, like I was telling you. I just found a plastic container that I'm gonna pull the shirts out, and I have to wring these shirts out. So it says to wring them out, use gloves. I did go look up soda ash. It's pretty nasty stuff. You definitely want to wear gloves and not get it on your skin. And if you haven't noticed yet, I am wearing one of our new Wisdom Scooters t-shirts. Alright, I just wrung out the last shirt. Check out this water. That's why I said don't do it in your bathtub, man. Alright, so this process, as I understand it, is going to take a little time to complete. We're going to take our shirts and pull them out here on the table, and then there's a process that you go through to wrap them up. I'm going to put some new gloves on because you don't want to get this soda ash stuff on your skin. Matter of fact, I got a little bit on my elbow as I was putting the shirts in the water and kind of mixing it up. And I don't know if it was in my head or if it was legit, but it kind of burned a little bit. So it could have totally just been my mind because I was freaked out about getting it on my skin. Now, what we're gonna do is just gonna pull a shirt out and I'm gonna put it on the table here. That looks sick. Now, I've just been watching YouTube videos that teach you how to do tie-dye, and there's all different kinds of techniques. I'm gonna do something really simple. So you just take it and you pinch it here in the middle. That's what I saw, and you just spin it, and the whole thing just kind of wraps around like this, and then you just kind of pull everything around it like this, like you're making a hurricane. Once you got it all wrapped up like that, like a nice little package, you just take a rubber band, and it looks like you put several rubber bands on it. So we're gonna put one there, then you go across this way with it, and then you go across this way. That should probably be good. So what we got to do is we got to wrap these dudes up like that. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap all the shirts at the same time, and then we'll do the dye all at the same time, because I know that this ink is gonna get pretty gnarly. I'm gonna get ink everywhere, and I need to get some bags. You have to tie these things up and put them in grocery bags, and then I'm just gonna put them right back in that box. So anyway, I'm gonna take my shirt. Let's start with this yellow one, because that one we can utilize the majority of the colors. We're gonna make some red. So you have to mix this up, and I guess you have to do, so you're doing kind of half and half, half ink and half dye and half water, I guess. Probably should read the instructions. Oh man, it says use half a bottle of dye with 3 gallons of water. Wow, I didn't need to use that much in there. We're going with it. It's gonna be really red. All right, so I'm gonna soak the, yeah dude, that's way too thick. I'm gonna have to thin that down some. Well, I'll just keep thinning it down. That seems to make a big difference there. All right, let's use this pink. That should be pretty cool. And I obviously don't need to use nearly as much dye. All right, let's pink it up, see what we get. See, that's way too thin. All right, I'm gonna flip her over. And just remember that kind of where my sections are. All right, I think we're gonna leave it at that. So now I need to take it, and we're gonna wrap it up in a bag. I'm gonna take this bad boy and put it in a bag. Tie it up and drop it in the box. You know, I just finished up doing the 11 shirts that I started out with today, and you know, I have to say I'm a little bit freaked out because the process is a little bit more difficult than it would seem. I'm also not the kind of person that usually just kind of goes out and just does something, right? I like to study things and know what I'm doing, and so I'm hoping that they all turned out pretty cool. Tomorrow we'll do the bleaching part of it, which will add a whole nother dynamic to it, which could entirely change the project altogether. I am pretty stoked that I at least tried something. I didn't grow up in a home where, like, my dad says, go try this, go try that, go do all these things, right? My dad was like the safe bet guy. I love my father dearly. My dad was a great man, and when he came to Jesus, he became a completely different person. But I struggle in my life with taking risks. And you know, if you're an entrepreneur, risk taking and being an entrepreneur really kind of go hand in hand. So, you know, while I'm thankful for my upbringing and I'm thankful for my family, I'm constantly mentally at war trying to balance the safe bet against taking a risk and doing something that I've never done before. So anyway, I just want to encourage you guys, you know, if maybe that's you, maybe you're growing up in a family where, you know, you're always encouraged to take the safe bet, and the safe bet is good. You know, doing the safe thing is good. But a lot of times I think greatness comes from taking a risk. And I'm not talking about unnecessary risk. I'm not talking about putting your life in danger. I'm just talking about trying new things and doing new things and not being afraid of whether you're going to fail or not. And because ultimately that's what it comes down to, is fear of failure. So don't be afraid to fail, because if you're afraid to fail, it means you're not going to try, and you may never experience the awesomeness that God created you to experience. All right, it is day 2 of our custom tie-dye project. Today I'm going to do the bleaching part. It is Sunday. I just had a killer nap. If you don't take Sunday naps, dude, you're totally missing out. You need to get in on this whole Sunday nap thing. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix a bottle of water, half water and half bleach. I'm going to mix that together, and then I'm going to take the shirts and I'm going to try to figure out, I've been watching some more YouTube videos about bleach dyeing, so I'm going to try to figure out how I want to bleach these shirts. I'm probably going to try a couple of different techniques, so let's check that out and see how that goes. Alright, so yesterday I noticed that when I was doing the shirts on the cardboard, that it made kind of a mess, and so when I was watching more videos last night about tie-dyeing strategy or techniques or whatever, I saw people putting them on like a grate, and so I had some wire shelving here in my garage, and I thought, well, since I'm working with the bleach today, I probably should elevate that, because I only want to put it on certain places. I don't want to put it everywhere. And so I'm putting my gloves on, and I'm going to get my bleach mixed up here with my water. And again, I'm doing a 50% water, 50% bleach solution. So I'm going to pour my bleach in there. Now for sure, bleach is gnarly stuff. So if you're going to work with it, make sure you're putting on some gloves, because you do not want to get it on your skin. It's super gnarly stuff. I did look at some more videos last night of this soda ash stuff that we were talking about yesterday, and I saw little kids messing around with it with bare hands, so maybe it's not as bad as I thought originally. But I don't know, if you're messing with chemicals and stuff like that, I think it's probably better to be safe, you know, instead of wishing that you didn't burn your face off with some kind of stuff that you should have wore some gloves. So I think putting on some gloves is just a safety precaution. Is probably wise. Alright, we're good to go there. Let's pop out the first shirt. Check it out. That's pretty sick. Alright, so I was thinking about how I wanted to do this. Oh, and you got to save your bag. No, I don't think so. Alright, so I was thinking about how I want to do this, and I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to follow the rubber band. So I'm going to make sure all my rubber bands cross in the middle. And I think I'm going to take bleach and I'm going to follow each of my rubber bands, because I think what that's going to do is that's going to make like a straight line spiral pattern. I really don't know, but I'm going to try that and see. I guess you got to go pretty easy with this stuff. I need to put something underneath it because I'm going to lose a lot of bleach. I'm going to take all my shirts out of the box, and I'm going to put this grate over the top of the box, and then the bleach can go in the box. There we go. So then I'm going to do what I said. I'm going to take some bleach and just kind of follow my rubber band lines. Is way harder to do than I anticipated, because it kind of goes everywhere. Now I guess you just kind of let it sit and wait until it gets to a point where you like the way that it looks. So I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to do the same thing here. So it's starting to change a little bit. We're going to watch it. I'm going to watch it and see how it goes. So check it out. This stuff is really going to work. You can see a lot of the white in the middle there. I think what I'm going to do, just because I want to see how the process is going to work out, I think I'm going to go ahead and dump this in the water. I'm going to take it inside into the sink and check it out and see what it does. Oh snap, check this out. Oh my gosh, it is freaking awesome. I can't even believe I made this. That is so cool. Check that out. That is so rad. Well, the coloring's a little off. Hang on a second. Well, I can't change it, but check that out, dude. That is so awesome. Wow. I can't wait to see what the others turn out to look like. Okay, so I've got all the shirts in the laundry. I've got them in the washing machine right now. I put them all in there together. I hope that's not a bad idea. I know you're not supposed to wash different colors together, but I mean, tie-dye is nothing but a bunch of colors. So I just thought, well, I'll just wash them all together. I can't imagine it's a big deal. Hopefully it doesn't create this giant ugly mess. I can tell you that this is fun, but man, it's a buttload of work. So once all the shirts get dry, I will I'll lay them out and let you guys see what they look like. You guys can already go ahead and start thinking about which one you want, because some of them, I have to tell you, look really sick. I'm gonna have a hard time letting go of some of them. Fortunately, I cannot wear all of the sizes that I've created, and I got all sizes from small through XX. Hopefully you'll see one that you really love, and I'll show you guys there in just a minute. Out of all the places in my house that I could envision that I might vlog, my laundry room is not the place. But the shirts are done. I have run them through the wash. I rinsed them twice, and I'm going to pull them out and we'll look at all of them together just so you guys can get a first look at what we did. Here's the first one. Here's a towel I threw in there just to kind of catch up some of the extra coloring maybe. It looks like I probably need to run the washing machine with a little bleach in it. So I'm going to take care of that. You know, one final thought here as I close this one out, as I've gone through this project and I've done this, one of the things that I've come to learn is that while you can do cool things, you don't always have control. You can be a participant in something awesome, but you're not always in control of the outcome. And this project has helped me really to see that, first of all, I did something awesome I've never done before. I've now come to a place where I believe in myself that I could do it again, and I certainly will do it again. And as I do the next ones, maybe I'll come up with new techniques or whatever, but you know, we ultimately always want to be in control of our own outcomes, but you're not always in control of those outcomes. The thing is, you can invest a lot of time and energy to make something happen, and I can tell you that I've invested a lot of time and energy to make these shirts happen, but you're not always in control of the final outcome. And you know, the Bible tells us that God orders the steps of a righteous man. And while you have to take the steps, while I had to invest the energy and the resources to make these shirts, you know, God really controls the outcome. I don't want to over spiritualize something that's not spiritual at all. Making tie-dye shirts is obviously not very spiritual, but the reality is that, you know, you're not always in full control of the outcome of a situation. But if we know that God always has our best interests at heart, that God will always do what's best for us, then it doesn't really matter what it looks like in the end. We can trust in the fact that it's always going to come out looking really cool. So just keep that in mind as you guys are just going about your week and living your life. I love you guys. Take care. God bless.